Welcome to Midcard Maniacs, I'm Jay.
And I'm John.
And today we're doing our WrestleMania 37 Night 2 predictions. Yeah. This is the Sunday night show. We've got a hot crowd. This has to be the night of WrestleMania. Even though there's probably more matches on the Saturday night that I actually want to see, we'll talk about it. Starting with the United States Championship with Riddle versus Sheamus.
Sheamus. I hate Matt Riddle. I really do. I hate his character. I know people probably eat his character up. He is like the Corbin to you hate Corbin.
I hate Corbin, you hate Riddle like that? Ooh.
Because I get annoyed when I see him on screen because I don't like his character. He's a great wrestler. I will watch all his matches. I just don't want him to win. He could be the glorified jobber. He can be the Ziggler.
Yeah, I want Sheamus to take it. It's not going to happen, unfortunately, because they are pushing Riddle a lot. Like, he's got a lot of screen time lately. He hits the younger demographic. You got a bunch of early 20s or earlier.
Couple of scooters.
Yeah, people on scooters smoking weed. Loving Riddle, especially with these Technicolor birds. Like, come on. Well, I don't want it. I think Riddle retains.
I'm not saying it. I'm sticking with Sheamus. I love his Boondock Saints snatch style of character. I want him to just go out there and beat him up. He deserves a run. I felt he got the short end of the stick when it came to his feud with Drew McIntyre because they put on great matches. He sacrificed his body. They weren't going to give him the title, so give him the US title.
Next up is probably one of the better actual wrestling matches of the night, which is going to be Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with a special guest referee, Logan Paul. I think that he was a guest referee. I don't know if that's been officially announced yet.
I don't know what's going to happen, but all I can say is I want to draw. In my heart, I want to draw. It is too hard to choose between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Right now, I want Sami Zayn to win because I want to see him dance in the ring. I want him to have a victory dance.
Okay.
Because we all saw what happened and the gif is all over the place. I love Owens. Can't they just shake hands and be a tag team? That's what I want.
They both team up and take down Logan Paul, and then Logan Paul brings in KSI and they can tag team against them.
I feel like it's gonna be Owens just so that the conspiracy can keep going with Sami Zayn.
But what happens with Logan Paul after this? Obviously, he's brought in, much like Bad Bunny, to draw eyes on this show, the Sunday show, whereas Bad Bunny was the other show. Logan Paul, what does he do here?
He's gonna do a stunner, because that's what Kevin Owens does. He's gonna side with Kevin Owens. Of all the moves he could probably pull off.
It's an easy one, and it's a good one that Zayn can sell the shit out of. That is gonna make him look great for all of Logan's 8-year-old fans. Sorry if you're a Pauler out there. Buy our merch. Link in the description to Pro Wrestling Tees. I think that might be Jake. I don't know. They all sell fucking merch, you know.
Take Logan Paul out of this. It does have potential to be match of the night. There is going to be some other matches that we'll be talking about because this is a pretty stacked card when you look at it on paper. We've seen Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn over and over again, and give them at least 20 minutes and you got yourself a 5-star match.
Next up, we've got the IC title between Big E and Apollo Crews. This is a Haas match. This is what I'm all about. Meaty men slapping meat, you know? That's what wrestling's all about. Big E has to retain, but if Apollo Crews wins it, I'm cool with that too.
Even though Big E is just starting his singles push, Apollo Crews has a fresh gimmick. He's now kind of going back to the Uha Nation, and he's a Nigerian representative and he's going back to his heritage. It'll be weird to see him lose after all this build-up.
That's true, yeah.
So if Big E loses the title, then he's just going to go off to something else and feud with whoever. But if Apollo Crews loses, this is a wasted repackaging.
Or it is more of a, hey, I need to gather some troops and kind of build his own little stable. There's a lot of opportunity in that kind of role to reach out to other people and to have a coming back strong.
I want Big E to win. Nothing against Crews. I like him as a wrestler. I think he's great. SmackDown is an interesting roster because when you look at who can go after him next, there's more heels I rather see going after the IC title. I'd like to see Big E have a nice long reign because he deserves it.
Next up, we've got The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton in a shenanigans match, we'll call it. It's not going to be cinematic, which is weird. because it would be more suited for cinematic, but with a live audience, not gonna happen.
Yeah, and it sucks too because like last year they did an amazing match with John Cena. It's almost to the point that I want a cinematic match right
I know.
now.
That's the one thing that like COVID really brought to the forefront and allowed people to have fun with. Same with like the Stadium Stampede and AEW. Like the cinematic matches are solid. And this is one that would be totally suitable. They will do something weird. I don't know what it is. What is there any stipulations to this?
We've got like new like Bray Wyatt, who's like the Fiend, like the burning Fiend. The burnt Fiend. Maybe they're gonna, like the one year that they had their title match, we're gonna see like sperm floating in the ring from the LED projector.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was so weird. It was like maggots or worms or something, but it looked so awkward.
I'm just disappointed that we're not getting Randy Orton versus Randy Orton. That's what I wanted, because in this whole build-up we had like black tar goop Randy Orton. I kind of wanted a Randy Orton versus Randy Orton face-off, or like a him going through his like career like John Cena did. I think it would be hilarious.
Well, he barely changed. He just got more tattoos.
I feel like the Fiend's gonna take it. If the Fiend wins and we get Black Tar Randy, then
just the Viper.
He's the Viper. He gets
Green Mist Tajiri style.
He does like the whole like Pee-wee's Playhouse thing, and he comes out in like a snake costume, like he's actually the Viper. Because we got Postman Pierce, and we're gonna get like, whoa, Snake Charmer Randy. Isn't it good? Is it something that this should be on a kid's show?
Oh, I see what you mean. In the Funhouse.
Yeah, in the Funhouse.
Okay, not in like Ring.
No, because we got Alexa. He comes in a snake suit. I'm a snake.
Look like somebody from Masters of the Universe, that guy.
Can we get that? I would be entertained with that.
This is not fantasy booking, this is predictions. Fiend wins on both sides, and hopefully Randy does go to the dark side, and then we get this more of an evil stable. But I don't know if Randy's wife is gonna like him hanging out with Alexa more. Next up is gonna be one of the best matches of the night. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley's taking it. Asuka is great and we both love her, but Rhea Ripley is taking this and she's gonna hold it for a long time.
Yeah, like Rhea Ripley deserves it. Last year, I felt that she got robbed of her WrestleMania moment because she feuded with Charlotte and lost, which, you know, is fine. But as much as I love Asuka as a champion, she doesn't really need the title to have good feuds and good storylines. But yeah, I think Rhea.
And last but not least, we have the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge. This is tricky. Initially, we were like, yeah, spear versus spear, this is what we want. And then Daniel Bryan's in the mix. It's like, well, maybe I want that now.
I feel like it would be great to have Edge have the title, but at the same time, Bryan he's openly admitted, like, I'm not gonna have like many years left in wrestling. Like, this is his like one of his potential final moments. I think Roman's gonna retain.
Oh, that would be the worst thing. It's like these two guys are like, please, we're almost done here. You're gonna be kicking around for a while.
I think Roman is going to retain. There's gonna be something where like everyone's gonna come in. It's gonna be like a screw job finish. Like not like a real screw job finish, but there's gonna be one of two things. Either Bryan's gonna have like Reigns like tapping out like he did in like the last one, and then Edge will interfere, the ref's down, and then all of a sudden Bryan has Edge, and then like Reigns knocks them both out as the ref wakes up, 1, 2, 3 for the win. But if Reigns isn't gonna retain and they are gonna do this shenanigan thing, I think Bryan is gonna take it, because Edge chasing the title from Bryan after this as like the rated R superstar is going to be a great feud storyline. Bryan can't go for the title after this feud. Like, this is it. Like, if Reigns or Edge wins, Bryan shouldn't be in the title picture. But if Bryan wins now, we have two heel contenders to go on forward. And I think Edge and Bryan have a story that's written itself. Bryan's not supposed to be in the match. He actually wins the match. Edge is chasing after him for stealing his moment, and that's when Edge can take the title, because Bryan gets a WrestleMania moment and has one more run with it. Yeah.
And then SummerSlam, Edge can take it.
But at the same time, if Edge gets the title and he has his last WrestleMania moment, because who knows how many more he's going to have, I wouldn't be upset if Edge walked out as the champion.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with either Edge or Daniel Bryan for the reasons that you've suggested. I am not cool with Roman Reigns retaining.
I just feel like it's going to be like a last minute audible. Like Vince is going to be sitting in the back and be like,
fuck it.
Yep.
Keep it on him.
Yep. Keep it on Samoa Joe. And then you hear Joe in like the commentary. I get my moment. No. The real Samoa Joe.
Well, those are our predictions for WrestleMania 37, Night 2. Thank you for joining us for these predictions. I don't know why I said that. Like we were fucking putting on WrestleMania or something. It's like a 20-minute video. Probably less than that if I did my job correctly as an editor. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these. Let us know your predictions in the comments. Like this video. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Stay up to date with everything Midcard Maniacs.